Okay, hi guys, I'm back, and I promise y'all I was about to flake. I was about to flake on coming back today because I am not feeling good. Well, my energy's a little low. And I'm gonna explain why. Can't even get it out. I'm gonna explain why I'm a little low energy today. Partially it has to do with my Zepbound injection on Friday, but not in the way that you may think. Y'all, let me tell you. So it's already day three of my. It's already day three on my 7.5 milligram dose of the Zepbound, and y'all, I'm in crisis mode. I'm in crisis. I'm going through it. Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all. I think I'm coming face to face with the reality of my food addiction. I'm coming face to face with the reality of how severe my food addiction is, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like Sheriff Zepbound is laying down the law, okay? And I cannot get away with half the shit I was getting away with on Compound. Don't believe me? I'm gonna get into it. So, thank you for everybody that watched the last video and left comments. You guys, you know what? Really, that's honestly the reason why I came to do this video, because I was reading some of the comments, and I'm like, okay, there's no way I can flake today. Like there's no way. I need to share my experience. Like I need to tell y'all what I'm going through, because I'm struggling. I'm struggling. But if you're not already, make sure you hit the subscribe on your way in. Don't be shy. Participate in the live chat. Leave a comment. And I really don't want any trolls in here today. On one of my last one, not the last one, but one of my previous live streams, a troll got in. So for today, because I'm just not in the mood, I have it on subscribers only. So if for some reason you can't leave a comment, just go ahead and subscribe, and it'll allow you to comment and participate. All right, y'all, I'm struggling. Okay. The sheriff came, y'all. The sheriff came. So I want to preface this by saying this could all, how I'm feeling right now could all be temporary. Okay. It could all be temporary. This could all blow over and pass as I continue on with taking my injections. But I feel like my connection to my cravings have been severed. It's only day three into my injection, technically maybe 2.5 days, but I feel like the cord has been cut with my cravings. And it's such a relief. But I'm going through a little bit of grief, okay? Okay, hear me out. Emotional eaters, I know you're out there, all right? You're gonna feel me on this, maybe, likely, possibly. But I'm a little down in the dumps. And I don't want to confuse this with like symptoms of depression, because I've definitely talked about that before. I promise you, this is not that. Y'all, I feel good, but there's a bit of a dual action going on here where I'm feeling a little bit of grief. I'm feeling a little bit of grief. So I took my injection on Friday night, and I talked about how I immediately knew it was over. Like I was not going to be able to eat within minutes of taking that injection. I knew it was like, okay, so I have to relearn how to deal with this level of appetite suppression. But it wasn't just appetite suppression. I immediately got relief from my food noise. Okay. But last night, I decided I was going to test that bounds gangster. Yeah. I decided I was going to test that bounds gangster and see how much I could really get away with. Oh my God. I wasn't looking at the chat, so y'all are coming in already. Hi, Alexis. Hi. Eye of Wisdom. Is that Jazzy? I have glasses on and I still need to squint. Thank you. Hi, y'all. Hi, guys. Don't be shy, y'all. Come out of the clouds. Okay, so I decided I was about that life and I was going to test Zepbound's gangster, because I've been on Compound my entire journey, and like I talked about in my last video, I could pretty much get away with anything. Like I could eat pretty much whatever I wanted. Although at some point satiety would kick in, but I was able to get away with quite a lot on Compound, and my food noise suppression was not where it needed to be as I got further into the journey. Now, I've had people leave me comments before saying that Zepbound brand is much better at appetite suppression. Okay, appetite suppression and food noise suppression. Right. And I was like, oh, okay. So what you? I mean, so like, so what? According to everybody that's tried both compound, Zepbound, blah 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 blah. Like, it don't make that much of a difference. Okay, that person was right. I was wrong, and I gotta hold the L. So let me get into how I tried to test Zepbound's gangster. So I had no appetite. I was not hungry. I did eat lunch, but even though I wasn't hungry, I had a late lunch of just some bacon and eggs. And I'm gonna get into how that was a bit of a struggle because someone also told me that being on Zepbound, you can get sick when you eat too much fat. And I didn't believe them because I was on compound and that never happened to me. But that happened a little bit when I had the bacon and eggs. So hold that thought. We'll get back to that later. But I wasn't hungry for dinner, didn't have any desire to eat, but I knew I needed to eat something. And typically, when that would happen to me, the easiest route, albeit wrong, okay, before you start judging me, the easiest route would just be some simple carbohydrates, right? Sugar and starch. That was how I would get through when I was on compound. If I really, really just did not want to eat and it was going to be a struggle to get down some protein, like a protein shake or protein source in my food with some fat, if that was just really not about to happen, I could always get by with some sugar and starch. I also was told previously that you'll get sick if you eat too much sugar on Zepbound. Okay. So that's how I'm used to getting by. So I was like, okay. I got some tater tots, starch. I got a Rice Krispie treat. I got a fruit roll up. To be honest, I was being a little. I wanted to know how far I could go. I honestly just wanted to know how much I was gonna get away with because I had such a little appetite. I didn't have much of an appetite, so I wanted to see if my old tactics would work, even though they were terrible tactics. So this is what I get. This is what I get. This is why I'm going to GLP-1 jail now. So I decided on my tater tots, my Rice Krispie treats, and my candy. Okay. So I go to eat my tater tots. I made about 12, maybe 15 of them. I got to about the third or the fourth tater tot, and all I could hear in my head was, ma'am, step away from the tater tots, ma'am. Step away from the tater tots. Like, when I tell you, when I tell y'all, it was like my brain and my stomach shut down at the same time. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I was like, okay, excuse me, Zepbound, you're not the boss to me, okay? I know you're new here. I get it, right? I get it, but you're not the boss of me. You can't tell me what to do, right? If I want to eat starch and I want to eat sugar, I'm going to eat it, okay? Like, this is the conversation. Like, this is like subconsciously the conversation that I'm having with myself. Like, wait a minute. Hold on. This always works. Why is this not working right now? Zepbound, you're not the boss of me. You just got here, right? You don't get to tell me what to do. So I moved on to the Rice Krispie treat, right? And in a moment, like in a true fit of defiance, I just ate it real fast. This is some fat girl stuff. I ate it real fast because I wanted to prove to myself, like, this is not real. Like, this level of appetite suppression and food aversion is just, it's not real. Like, I can always get past it and eat what I want and do what I want. Mind you, I had no craving for the tater tots. I had no craving for the Rice Krispie treat. I just, as an emotional eater, you get bored. I just wanted to prove that I could still eat it, right? Because we friends. Me and Sugar, we're friends. So I ate the Rice Krispie treat real fast, right? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not locked up yet. I didn't go to jail yet. Like, this is when they detain you and they start asking questions, right? I watch a lot of body cam footage, so forgive the analogy, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I got my Rice Krispie treat down. It's still not happening with the tater tots, but I still got my fruit roll up left. I love me some candy. Like, me not being able to eat a piece of candy or finish off a pack of candy is like unheard of. That's just not realistic. Like, I can eat all of the candy, okay? So I get into the fruit roll up, and again, defiantly, I'm trying to eat it real fast to prove I can get it down. And I got about a third of the way through, and I could feel the spirit of Zepbound law enforcement, just like, Oh, you think it's a game? You think it's a motherfucking game? Like you think a motherfucker playing with you? Again, it felt like I went from my brain and my stomach shutting down to like, let's go. You're going to jail. That's it. You think it's a joke? You think I'm playing with you? You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Put the fruit roll up down. Put it down, y'all. I'm very upset because me and Sugar are very close friends, and typically when I want to get rid of Sugar, it has to be done in stages, okay? Cutting Sugar out cold turkey does not work for me. It stresses me out, okay? I talked about my gluten withdrawals. I was using Sugar as a bit of a crutch while I could get rid of gluten, and then I was gonna, move on to Sugar. Like Sugar, me and Sugar we were gonna break up. We were working on it. Like we were in and out. We were gonna break up, but it was just, I was having a hard time. You know how you always go back to your ex like that. I was having that bit of a hard time. But y'all, I got sent to Zepbound jail, GLP-1 jail. I did. And now, I woke up this morning not feeling that great, like feeling a little down because like my ability, like it registered to me that I'm upset that I can't emotionally eat. Right? Like I can't just eat because I'm bored. I can't just eat because I need something to do. I can't eat just because something tastes good. I can't do that now. And it's only day 3 and I'm just like, I mean, this is what I asked for. Like this is what I asked for. This is what I need. You know how like something is good for you, but you're just like, that don't mean I gotta like it. Like that don't mean I gotta like it. So I had a rough night and a rough morning. Like I thought it was gonna blow over. I thought it was gonna pass, and it didn't. So I woke up with like very low energy because I hadn't eaten the day before, or I had the bacon and eggs. I had the Defiant Rice Krispie treat. I had the Rice Krispie treat, but that was about it. So because I was so like my calories were so low, I just woke up with very, very, very low energy. And then again, I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't even have a protein shake. I just was just not in the mood. I was just sitting there like really trying to gather my thoughts and process my feelings. And if you're an emotional eater, it feels like you lost your best friend. It feels like your best friend just ghosted you with no explanation. Like y'all didn't fight. Your best friend just walked away and didn't say nothing. And I was not feeling good this morning. So I went and got me an IV drip. I went and got me an IV drip that was pretty heavy in magnesium. It was a bunch of vitamins, B vitamins and stuff like that, but it was pretty heavy in magnesium as well, which made me drowsy. And I was dehydrated. So when you rehydrate too quickly through an IV, it makes you very fatigued. So I spent the last few hours like really just in bed resting, trying to get some sleep. And I was not gonna come on here and talk to you guys because I was just like, I was so ashamed. I'm just like, oh, like I don't want to talk about it. Like I mean, I'm pretty transparent, but I was just like, how am I gonna get through talking about the fact that I'm really upset that my connection to sugar has been severed. Like now, like I said, this could be temporary. This could all blow over. But I don't know. I'm sorry, y'all. Stop laughing at me. Okay, I'm gonna go back through y'all comments. Yes, you use the vials now. So experience the fat mix with Zepbound side effects. Okay, let me get into that. Cause what the fuck? What am I gonna do? Like I lean more toward a higher fat diet and I can't even say low carb. That's a lie. I in my mind, I'm low carb, but I know that my carbs and my fat are high at the same time. So when I feel like I'm not losing weight, typically I'll drop the carbs. I felt like I was about to throw up when I had that bacon and eggs. I felt like I was about to throw up. Like typically I can eat that several times a week with no problem. But now that I've started Zepbound, it's not rocking with the fat, and it's honestly not rocking with the sugar either. So I don't know what the fudge I'm supposed to, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was thinking about it, like I can't get low fat bacon. Like I can get turkey bacon, but I mean, Chicken breast, I think I'm pretty fine with. I've already removed fried food because we're officially doing that as a part of our challenge in June. So I just got a head start. But I'm just like, what am I gonna do if I get sick? If I feel sick every time I eat fat? The sugar thing is a good thing. I'm just very sad about it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I bought small ice cream, a little bigger than Kid Scoop, and the tourist kicked in. I had to put it in the freezer. Yeah, it be like that. It definitely be like that. That's your pancreas overworked from the sugar carbs. Are you talking about the sleepiness or which what? What are you talking about? Because I was sleepy or because I was not feeling good this morning? Yeah, it could be either one of those. Love some sugar. Um, you what? Canned cake and zingers? Zingers. That sounds like a place that sounds like some what somebody would call chicken tenders on their menu. I can't wait to get my compound from Shy Pharmacy. I want to see what it do. Protein coffee, great on GLP-1. I hope you don't mean protein in your coffee because I definitely tried. I'm tired of people lying to me online, not you. But I saw somebody in on YouTube talk about putting their mixing their protein shake into their coffee, and I tried that. I was appalled. It was so disgusting. It was so disgusting. Thank you. I'm struggling out here, but I'm working on it. Yeah, yeah. IV therapy definitely is very helpful for me because I struggle with staying hydrated. Yeah, definitely the magnesium. I think that's why I was so drowsy and I've just been struggling. Like I'm even struggling right now. When I get off of here, I'm gonna go like lay back down. Hi, Freddie. Nature girl. Remember, this is just one day and we've all had them. You know what? To be honest, I am relieved. I have had a rough 5 months with this stall, but it's not just the stall that was rough. The compound that I was using was absolute garbage. Not all compound, but the compound that I was using was absolute garbage canned juice. And it was hard not having that food noise suppression. It really, really, really was. And to be honest, like when I say did Eli Lilly make me their bitch? Like I really had like a moment today where I was like, oh my God, like I love you. I was like, what is this miracle drug? Like, what is it's okay, peptide, but not a drug. But it's like, why, like, why? Like, why is Zepbound so goddamn good? Why is it so good? Like, that makes no sense. But like I was saying, I had a rough 5 months with that trashy compound. It was not good. The compound that I had was just it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It feels like a wave of nausea. Nausea, absolutely. I can't eat eggs anymore. Well, then I'm screwed because I live on eggs. I eat eggs every day. Like what am I gonna do? Tigga, why you got no profile picture? Look, I'm bullying people. Not feeling well due to the pancreas overworking, possibly. Okay. Yes. Yes, possibly. Um, miracle drug. Amen. I mean, like, Lily, I want to be friends. Like, cause I feel very, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I feel very conflicted. Like, I would say on average, like just on a regular day, I am very much so anti big pharma. Okay. I am the type of person that will avoid medication for as much as possible. I will be bent over in pain with menstrual cramps before I pop an ibuprofen. Like I have to get to the point of like I can't. I know that was you. You don't have to message me. Like I don't know your YouTube name. um, um, but gosh, stop distracting me. I lost my train of thought, y'all. Don't blame me. I'm sorry. I'm not idiot. I'm not here. I'm not with it today. But back to Lily, if that's where I left. I'm not even sure where I left. I lost my train of thought that quick because I haven't really eaten today. What did I eat today? So I also tried to have a coffee today, right? I'm stubborn. I was still trying to prove a point. So I went to Starbucks. Like I talked about yesterday. I only go to Starbucks when I'm traveling, but I was like, I'm gonna get me a latte. Oh, I'm gonna get me a latte. Full of sugar too, not full. I typically only get 2 pumps of caramel. But I didn't enjoy it. That's really hard on me. That's really hard on me. Like the things that I like, just because they're good, it's me and coffee are like water and air. Like we just, I don't even know what that comparison was, but like, you need air, you need oxygen, you need oxygen, you need water. Like that, like that's me and coffee every single day. And now I'm just like, like, I'm not feeling it. Not Jack and Meds. Listen, I hope I get to work at Lilly. Well, I don't want to work at Lilly, but I would love to like collab with them. That would be awesome. I don't think they're doing that though. I don't think they do that, so that's why I'm comfortable saying it. Cuz I don't really think that's going to happen, but y'all, they bitched me up. Like they're like, I'm just like, man. Oh, so I was saying like on average I'm anti big pharma, but I don't want to be like a Lilly go Lilly go. Like I don't want to be a Eli Lilly cheerleader because of the simple fact that they are big pharma. Like they are the big pharma. But it's like, man, like this is like a toxic boyfriend, like for real. High protein yogurt in a bowl with berries. Nature girl, let me tell you something. That is a great idea. But you may have missed the 47 videos where I talked about the fact that I eat like a 4-year old. Like, no, and that's not even fair to 4-year olds because 4-year olds likely would eat a bowl of yogurt with berries. I don't like berries raw. Like I have to drink them in a smoothie. Also with yogurt. Like I don't like to just necessarily eat yogurt. I gotta have it in a smoothie. And I try to avoid smoothies because they're, you get a lot of sugar into one thing, one cup, one serving or whatever. But I will say I did start to try to incorporate yogurt, even though I don't like it. I need the protein, so I can do a little bit of yogurt at a time, a little bit, especially if it's unsweetened. I can do a little bit at a time, but the berries I can't do the berries. I don't like raw berries. What pharmacy? That was from Smart Scripts. That was from Smart Scripts. I ain't like that. And Red Rock. Red Rock was like injecting water. At least when I got it from Smart Scripts, at least when I got it from them, the appetite suppression would kick in eventually. Like I could get halfway through my food and then it would kick in. Whereas now it's like, what food? I don't even want to eat. Like, and it's such a weird feeling because it doesn't feel bad. Like I emotionally feel bad and mentally because of my relationship with food, but physically I'm a little tired. I'm a little fatigued from my IV drip, but like I don't physically feel bad with the Zepbound. Like the appetite suppression, it you know what it is? It's like I wonder if normal people feel like this. Like to just not be hungry and not think about food. I remember when I first started on the 2.5 milligram, that's how I felt. And it was that good compound from Hollandale. I was like, man, is this what it's like to be normal and not think about food all day? But as I started switching pharmacies, the quality was not as good, so I didn't get as much of that. But now that I'm on brand, I'm just like, oh yes, this is what this is supposed to be like. Like I can dig this. I can fuck with it. Like I like this. I like not being obsessed with food all day. I like it. I can do the dark chocolate. Bananas are a no. Bananas are a absolute no. Bananas are a berry. If you didn't know, Alexis, bananas are a berry. I can't with the berries. I can't with the berries. Um, I can do granola. I can do granola and dark chocolate. I think Nature Valley has a granola and dark chocolate milk mix, if I'm not mistaken. I think they do. I think they do. Okay, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do about the whole fat situation. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Who has gotten through that? Who's gotten past that? I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like all meats have fat. I'm not about to just survive off of lean meats because if y'all didn't know, that was the problem with Atkins. Atkins was the keto before keto, but the problem that people were having is that some people were still either gaining weight or couldn't lose weight. A lot of people did, but they either didn't lose weight or they gained weight because lean meat, if you go too high with the lean meat, it will turn into sugar. in your body. Like it will raise your insulin, and then you're back to square one with the body storing it as fat and all of that. So that's the problem with the lean meats. If you're gonna eat meat, you really should have it with some fat. Like you should have it with the natural fats that it comes with. Um yes, fun fact, bananas are berries. I'm a child. I'm a child. I don't want berries. Don't put no berries in my food. You can't get past the fat situation. That really depends on what fat you eat. Man, that's stressful. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm hoping? You just said I can't get past it. Cause I'm hoping as I take more injections, like as I go through the weeks, that I will adjust. Like I'm really hoping I will adjust. Cause I'm not trying to titrate down to the 5. And I'm not planning to titrate up to the, which is good news. Like now I don't necessarily feel like I'm gonna have to titrate to 10 milligram. Like I feel like, all right, let me tell y'all what I'm feeling. I think this is about to be the end of my stall. I think this is about to be the end of my stall. Forget the calories, I won't say forget the exercise, okay? Because the gym is still important to me. But I seriously think I'm about to bust through this stall because I struggled with, okay, when you're on a GLP-1, there is a fine line between undereating and overeating, right? Because you don't have an appetite, it's very easy to undereat and you can lose your muscle that way. Because I became obsessed with not losing my muscle, I ended up most of the time overeating. And then as I would drop weight, I would forget to drop my calories. Like my TDEE calculator of what I would need calorically for the day, my measurements would change, but I would forget to double check. So I would I think I started out with like a 2100 calorie budget. And then when I lost weight, like 20, 30 pounds and ended up at like 1800 calories, I didn't drop for like a couple of months. I didn't drop the calories. And now I'm at about 1650 is what I should be eating. But if I eat out, if I eat a bunch of sugar and if I drink a bunch of sugary drinks, I'm easily, in my mind, I'm easily going over that. If you have insurance, call and ask for a dietitian. Yes. So I had a dietitian. She was wonderful. She helped me out a lot. She left, and then I got a different dietitian that was not as good. Well, it's not that she wasn't good at her job. It's just personality wise, I felt like I was being talked to like I was a child, and not in a mean way. It was like, okay, I'm nitpicking, y'all. I'm from New York. We do this. But it was like her tone of voice. Like she talked to me like this all the time, and it was really annoying. And I was just like it was just like that's probably not nice to say. It really probably is not nice because that doesn't mean she was bad at her job. It just, and then because, okay, so it was like she was taking, she couldn't build a rapport either, right? It was like she was trying to be somebody else because she was in a workplace. So her idea of professionalism was not a match for like my kind of, y'all see how I act. Like like y'all we need to be able to just have a conversation like two regular people. And I can't talk to you if you're talking to me like this the whole time. And it's like everything is like an upward inflection. And it was just like, I don't know. I just couldn't. I'm sorry, I have wisdom. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be mean. But it was just, stop asking me stuff, y'all. I don't know, my God, y'all making me expose myself. But it was just, it wasn't, it wasn't, it wasn't, it was something about her person. I think it was maybe just her personality type. Like we just didn't match. We just didn't match. Um, I just like when I had my first dietitian, I was a little standoffish. I was like, this lady ain't gonna know what she's talking about because they're part of the establishment. Like they're the last to change. You know what I mean? Like you think doctors are bad, dietitians damn sure ain't going to adjust. But my dietitian Karen, she was really wonderful. She was very down to earth. She just talked to me like a regular person. I would come back like I'm still under eating. I'm still under eating. Like it took her like 3 months of trying to convince me to just supplement with protein shakes because I wanted to do it with food, but I couldn't eat enough food. And she's like, drink the protein shakes. Drink the protein shakes. And I'm just like, why? Like, yeah, like talking at me and not to me. But I don't think it was because she was just inconsiderate. I think it was just her level or her view or perception of professionalism. That's all I think it was. She was very kind. She was very sweet, but like and then she didn't really like criticize, and but maybe criticize is not the right word. Like everything was super agreeable. And I'm like, you can't just agree with everything I say. Like that's not how this works. Like I tell you where I'm struggling and then you help me out. Like you can't just agree with everything that I'm saying and everything that I say is okay and great. It's like that's not productive. That's not productive. I need you to be aware of like I'm very honest about where I'm falling short. Now I need you to me. Help me. So she was nice. She was a nice lady. And I just haven't gone back to find another dietitian because I was kind of like I'm the type of person that's like worried about hurting people's feelings. So I was kind of worried if I went back to the same place and just got a different dietitian, like she would feel some type of way. That's me overthinking. I overthink everything. But okay, so now that you said it, I'm gonna go back and start speaking with a dietitian again because I really do need it. Oh, news. Should I share? Okay, guys, I'm gonna have a moment of vulnerability. Okay, like, and don't start getting in the comments coming for me. Okay, all right. But there's something that I have not shared since the start of this channel because I suffer from an extremely unreasonable amount of like shyness and self-consciousness. Like I know I'm a little over the top, so it doesn't seem like it, but hear me out. Hear me out. Okay. You, I have very strong energy. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I know, but like y'all would not believe. Like I wanted to start a channel for years, and I'm extreme. Like you would not believe how shy I am. Like you wouldn't believe it. Nene, get out. Like get out. Cause why you late? No, I'm stop. That's fine. That's fine. You can catch up. You can play catch up. You'll see this later. Okay, you'll see this later. Okay. But y'all, okay. All right. So here's the thing, right? I've been waiting until I make it to my goal weight to like share some information with the channel. But now that I've been doing the live thing, I'm just like, oh, well, maybe I don't have to wait. But I don't want y'all coming for me, right? I don't want y'all judging me. All right. I can judge you, but don't judge me. Okay. So I don't even want to say it. I'm so dramatic. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so a couple of years ago, we're in 2025. So in 2023, y'all, I got certified as a health coach. I did. I did. I went to the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I did it online. But I got certified as a health coach in 2023. And the reason why I'm making such a big deal about not saying it, like I was like, okay, like what's the big deal? Is because one, I'm dramatic and I don't make sense. But the reason I never said anything is because where the judgment comes in is that I didn't want to be judged for not having my life together health wise, right? I didn't want to, so I got certified as a health coach, but I never did anything with it because I always felt, and this was another reason why I didn't want to start a YouTube channel. I always felt like people were going to have, okay, let me back up. The reason I got the health coach certification is because I wanted to start a YouTube channel. And I felt like people were going to say, well, who are you? What are your credentials? What do you know? You don't know nothing. Why should we listen to you? So I went and got certified as a health coach so that, because even though I had a lot of the information, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? I mean, it means something to me, but like when it comes to other people, I was just deathly afraid of someone being like, well, what are your qualifications? Like, what do you know? Right? So I was like, okay, well, if I have this paper to back me up, then if anybody ever asks, I'll be prepared. And then I got certified and just was still scared. I was still scared to start a channel. I was still terrified to start a channel, and I didn't even go into the field of health coaching. I don't know if I've ever shared this, but I'm in cybersecurity right now. I've been in cybersecurity for about 7 years, but I didn't do the career switch. I just got the certification. It was about, I think, a year long, and I just, I was just like, nope, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. No, the world is scary. I'm not ready. Because like when it comes to health coaching, you have to be able to talk with people. You have to be able, like, you can't be afraid to put yourself out there. And I was definitely afraid of that. So it took me another year or so to decide to start the channel, but then I flipped. I was like, okay, I'll start the channel, but I won't mention that I'm certified as a health coach, because I don't like it, my complete mindset just switched about it. So I was being completely dramatic about, oh my God, I have news. I was being completely dramatic about it, but I was thinking about it recently, like, not even, basically what I'm trying to say is I was thinking about the direction of my channel, right? I was thinking about the direction of my channel and where I want things to go once I do reach my goal. And I was thinking about the best way other than videos to be able to help people. So I hate saying what I will do in advance, because y'all, I don't keep my word when it comes to stuff that like I can easily scare out of. You know what I mean? Like stuff that makes me nervous. I don't like making promises about that. But in my mind, right? In my mind, I'm ready. No, I'm not ready, but hear me out. In my mind, when I reach my goal, my goal is to be ready to make that career change, right? My goal is to be ready to move into the health field as a coach, right? That's the objective. But again, right, the goalpost keeps moving, because now I'm like, well, I was just talking about fat doctors. Like, don't nobody want an overweight health coach like lady. How you going? And see, the thing about health coaching is not just about weight loss. Like when I did the certification, when I say, they talked about anything from like, what do you call adjusting a room for a certain flow? What do you call that? Is that feng shui? Am I making that up? It's been a while. But like when I talk about, like, it was very mental, emotional, physical, not spiritual. Okay, not spiritual, but I believe you should be spiritually healthy too. I was. I'm gonna kick you out because you keep laughing at me. Stop laughing. It's not funny. But like we talked about so many different things that did not just have to do with losing weight. Like when it comes to health coaches, think halfway point between nutritionists and who's been to a doctor and felt like their doctor didn't understand what they were saying when it came to like their nutritional health, right? Or their weight. You ever been to the doctor and felt like they didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, or they just wouldn't listen to you, or you felt like you had more information than them, right? But then you go to like, not a nutritionist, I would say like a dietitian, and they're not doctors, but they're still kind of handcuffed by their board requirements. They're handcuffed by their standards, right? Like they can't, there's certain things they have to tell you. Like there's certain things they can't give alternatives to, right? So like, even though I love my dietitian Karen, she would really try to force wheat on me. Like she would insist on me eating grains. Even though I feel like I have a gluten allergy. I should just get tested and get past all of this. But she would really force bread on me. She's the reason that I started not being afraid to incorporate bread into my diet again. But now we're like, no, that was wrong. I know better. Like she was good at a lot of things, but this is one of those things that's like, no, that's the establishment talking. That's the institutions and what you learned in school talking, because there's no reason you have to keep trying to convince me to eat bread, right? So consider a health coach like that bridge, right? That person that's not quite bound by as many restrictions, but like that's the point of the word coach. So anyway, I'm hoping to be able to make that career change later this year, and I'm excited about it. I don't know how that will fit into the channel, but I'm pretty sure I can figure it out, okay? But like, I'm really dramatic, y'all. Like, I'm really, really, really dramatic. Like, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to tell anybody. Like, I don't want to tell, I don't want to share. I don't want to share. Look at this. Look at this. Look at how Eye of Wisdom was coming from my neck. Look at this here. You're great at this. You should be a health coach. You know, Alexis, if I can get out of my own way, I will be a health coach, okay? If I can get out of my own way and stop being so afraid of like not being perfect, right? That was the thing. Like if I could get out of my own way on that, I'll be a health coach. No, it's too late. You can't be nice to me now. No. You can't be nice. No, it's okay. It's okay. No one has their life together health wise 100%. You know, you would think that yes, okay, you're right. Like I know this, but in my mind, I'm a perfectionist. I don't know how else to say it. Like I'm not perfect. I'm clearly imperfect, but I fear imperfection. And I fear, yeah, I'm working on it. Maybe I need to coach myself. I need like a life coach or something. Mental or physical health. Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have wisdom. I promise I'm trying to get into cybersecurity. I just got approved for a grant to study, but I like the health coach too. You know, cybersecurity I'm good at because it's specific, like it's very logical. Like I don't have to think too much, and that sounds bad, but when I say that, like I don't have to be creative, right? It's very specific. It's very maybe I shouldn't say straightforward, but A plus B typically is going to equal C in cybersecurity, right? That's why I like it, and I'm good at it, right? I'm good at it. So, and it pays well. I mean, I'm being modest, but you know, cybersecurity is a field that's known to pay well, but it's not giving me. Okay, so let me tell y'all something else before I continue with the comments. The reason I mentioned the health coaching thing, right, is one, I just wanted to get it off my chest, but I need to figure out a way to direct my channel in such a way that I need to make it very clear that my point, like I am team make your life easier. Okay. I talked about this when I talked about people saying that GLP-1s are cheating. And it's like, one, it's not, because you still have to work very hard. But on the other end, it's like, why do you want people to struggle? Why do you want people to figure this out the hard way? Okay. I don't give a flying flop. I don't care. Like Lilly has made me their bitch. Like, I don't care. I'm not about to go back to struggling the old way. Give me my Zepbound. Okay. Now I do need to work on some healthier habits, right? I don't want it to be too much of a crutch, but who gives a shit? Life should be, I know some people are going to be offended by the idea that life should be easier than what we make it. Okay. So if you can find ways in life to make things a little bit easier, that's what I want my message to be. Okay. And I was working on the notes for that budgeting video. Well, it's not quite a budgeting video. It's more of like a 7 ways to be able to pay for Zepbound video, or 7 ways to be able to afford Zepbound, right? And I have some ideas on that. So I was just working on that, but I needed it, like it went in order from easy, sort of kind of easiest to like getting a second job is like the hardest thing, because I don't want people to work more, but it is an option if you really need your medication, right? I don't want to get too much into that, but my objective is, how can we make things as easy as possible? I am nearly 30. Okay. The idea that life is supposed to be difficult is on its way out. This is why I'm house sitting, right? Spoiler alert. And it's not going to matter for people that aren't here, but spoiler alert, this is one of the steps. Y'all not ready. Y'all are not ready. Y'all are not ready. This is one of the steps to free up some expenses. Not some, yeah, some. This is one of the steps to free up some expenses to be able to do what you want, whether it's travel, whatever, or even just pay for your medication. But y'all, I promise y'all not ready. I promise y'all not ready. Because let me tell you something. My lease is up in July and I'm not renewing it. Y'all not ready. Y'all not, we don't need to talk about that. I don't want to scare y'all away from the live stream. So let me just move on. But yeah, my objective is to make life easier. MIDI Health is menopause and weight loss provider, but they couldn't relate and was like, eat avocado and exercise. Okay. You need doctors. You need dietitians. But sometimes they don't get it. And sometimes they are bound by their licenses to do things a certain way. That is where a health coach comes in. right? That is where a health coach comes in, to be that flexible point to kind of speak your language, okay? Speak in such a way that you can understand and you're able to communicate to each other in a way that's not MD, or what's the dietitian, I don't know, like what is their thing, I don't know, but you get what I'm trying to say. To become a registered dietitian, you'll typically need a minimum of a master's degree in dietetics, food and nutrition, or a related field. So this is what I'm saying, right? They're bound by the restrictions of their, I don't want to say field, but of their license or certification or degree. They're bound by, ethics is going to sound bad. No, because sometimes what they're taught to do conflicts with the ethics, and they will go with what they're taught. Like, they won't go with what's ethically correct, which is to put your patient first and their needs first, regardless of what your schooling from the 1920s says. That's another thing that y'all may not be ready for. Like, a lot of these doctors are still in the mindset of like what they've learned in medical school, which is fine. We need doctors. Like this country is really great at what's the opposite of chronic? Like acute diseases, or like urgent care, emergency care. Like if I was to, God forbid, get shot or stabbed, I would want to go to a hospital here in America with no problem. But if I had diabetes, I would be very picky about my doctor, right? Like I would be very picky about my doctor. They would have to be very, very updated on their information. If you're still trying to respond drug first and you don't even mention my weight as a type 2 diabetic, you don't even mention it. You don't even forget weight, because you could be regular normal weight and have type 2 diabetes. You don't even mention my diet. If I go to you as a physician, right, and I have type 2 diabetes, and diet never even comes out of your mouth, I don't want you, I'm not telling y'all what to do, but I'm just saying, like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. So dietitians are the same way. I was so stressed out by this lady trying to push bread on me that I actually folded. I listened. And then I just realized, it didn't take me long to realize, no, this is not going to work, because my weight slowed down even further. I was like, no, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. Yeah, this is not going to work. 2.5, is that a new name? Erica. Hi, Erica. I'm on 2.5 Zep and I have 6 extra boxes because at first I was too scared to take it. I'm thinking about doing 2.5s every 5 days. If that's what works for you and you talk with your doctor, I'm a little confused. Wait, I think I misunderstood what you were saying. 2.5s every 5 days. Is that your way of saying you're going to take 2 injections? I'm not sure about that. I am an Aries. I am the best sign in the zodiac, the first sign in the zodiac. Okay? Like, I have wisdom. I'm gonna need you to like get with the program here, okay? Like, I'm an Aries. I am a bull-headed ram Aries. I have Aries tattooed on my calf. And I also have my ram on my Pandora bracelet that I'm not wearing right now because it's too big since I lost weight. So, are you a Virgo? My mom was a Virgo. So I might have a little bit of Virgo in me. But yeah, no, I'm definitely an Aries, first sign of the zodiac. I'm a perfectionist. You know what it is? To be honest with you, I don't even know if perfectionist is the right word, but you know what it is? Worrywart. I am an extremely worrisome person, and I'm an overthinker. To me, you put those two together and you get perfectionist. But let me know what you think. That's how I feel. My husband tells me this all the time, and he's fat. Oh God, I'm behind in the comments, so I don't even know what I said. I know you're gonna stay in your car, right? Everyone's doing this. No. Okay. Oh, see, don't. You're gonna pull me into a conversation that y'all not ready for. Y'all not ready for. No, I'm not staying in my car. I mean, you could say that. It looks like I stay in my car, but no. I'm not staying in my car. My dad has a house, so he's my home base. My dad is my home base. Basically, like, if I'm not in the middle of traveling to another house sit, I'll be at my dad's house maybe like a week or so at a time. Like, as of right now, I pass through his city, his town. Like, right now he's my halfway point between North Carolina and Florida. I live in North Carolina still. And I've been twice down here to house sit. So I'll stop at his house for a day in South Carolina, and then I'll continue on to Florida. I don't really have a halfway point going north. Like when I went from North Carolina to Pennsylvania, I just kind of had to drive straight through, but it was okay. It was about 6 hours. And yeah, so I just consider him like my home base. Like I touch base there like once a week. And if I go longer in between house sits, I'll just be there because I still work. I could work out of my car, but I don't need to. I also have a dog. So once my lease is up, my dog will go to South Carolina with the other dogs. But y'all not ready. Stop. You trying to lure me into a conversation that you're not ready for. Okay? All right. So what kind of idiot will prescribe bread knowing it converts into sugar? I'm sorry you had that experience. Sometimes this is what I'm talking about. Like, because you're right. Like this is literally my point. Diabetics get told to eat carbs. Type 2 diabetics get told to eat carbs. And I was pre-diabetic. I started tirzepatide compound as a pre-diabetic. As a pre-diabetic. And I'm being insisted upon. Like, what in the food pyramid of 1987? Okay? How many of you like to read or listen to audiobooks? How many of you are into audiobooks or reading, digital or hard copy? How many of you have like Kindle or something like that? Not a Kindle, but like you can read your books online or something like that. Because I think I'm going to start recommending some readings that will like really, really, really just make you, I don't want to say mad. Like for me, because I'm a bit of a like I like to be in control. When you realize how much of this environment is outside of our control, and a lot of the issues that people have with their weight in this country has been a setup and a lack of accountability and some really bad science, some really, 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 really horrible junk science. It's unfortunate, but this is what I'm talking about with the dietitians. They are bound to balanced diet, right? Balance to them is grains, vegetables, protein, and a little bit of fat. My idea of balanced is a little bit of carbohydrate or grains or no grains, and you can still have your carbs from something else. I don't have a problem with grains overall, but specifically wheat. Like I have beef with wheat specifically. A little bit of grain, high protein or high fat, moderate protein, or high protein, moderate fat, whichever you prefer, or balanced fat and protein. And I guess if you prefer high vegetables, but I'm not a high vegetable person. I'm not a high fiber person. So that's my idea of like, and pushing fruit as well, like pushing, oh, eat a bunch of fruit, eat a bunch of grains. Like y'all didn't learn nothing from the 80s and 90s. Y'all didn't learn anything. Like, oh, Aries is the best. We're the best. I just wouldn't date an Aries. Go figure, right? Right? Go figure. Not your fave fire sign. I'm also a Leo moon. I got a lion tattooed on my shoulder, and it wasn't even related, but it was a coincidence that I wanted to get a lion as like a symbol of protection. I was going through a whole spiritual thing at that time, and I felt like I needed to be protected by. I felt like I was in need of protection, and I got a lion tattooed on my shoulder. I'm not sure if I ever showed it. Cancer, do you cry? Do you cry a lot? Do you cry? Pre-diabetes, yep. Audible. Okay. The good pyramid. Oh, you meant the food pyramid is tremendously outdated. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. So, do you know, right? This is completely like beyond my stressed out low energy situation that I started this with. But do you know that the food pyramid was thought up by a bunch of, do I want to say politicians? Were they politicians? Let me see. Don't give me the lion. McGovern food pyramid. The USDA. That's essentially the government. The government came up with the dang food pyramid. The McGovern Food Pyramid refers to visual representation of dietary recommendations outlined in the Dietary Goals for the United States, a report published by the McGovern Committee in 1977. So I was giving grace when I said the 80s. I've read so many books on it that I remembered his name, McGovern. I remembered the commit, like the McGovern committee. But a bunch of people got together and said, this is the way Americans should eat. And now here we are. Now here we are. Now here we are. Oh, you didn't finish your message, Erica. I don't even know where to start if I was to like recommend a book. Like like Good Calories, Bad Calories is so dense, but it's because there's so many citations, and you get bought from like the early 1900s all the way to the present, and it's a lot. It's a very dense book, a lot of information. So I listen to it on Audible because I can retain information more that way versus reading. I know how to read, but I retain a greater amount of information if I can listen to it. I'm an auditory learner, basically. The food pyramid is a disaster. It's a disaster. And now they call it My Plate. They just rearranged it. The same nonsense. They're so said that to say, in a lot of these cases, I know better, but a lot of this food is just simply addictive. Like, I know better than to be eating flour, but one of my favorite foods is pizza. I haven't had it in a while now, but I'm just saying, like, that's how it goes being in this country. My insurance covers Zepbound because obesity affects diabetes, but deny Mounjaro because A1C is normal. This is one of the reasons why Eli Lilly was smart to repackage Mounjaro as Zepbound. Even the doses are a little different because so this is a way to double dip, which is great for them. Like, the insurance companies are dumb. They're just dumb. Like, if you would just allow people to get Zepbound, you would have to pay for less chronic disease, right? Am I missing something? Like, why do y'all think these insurance companies don't want to cover Zepbound? What? Because it's too, well, it could be because it's too expensive. It could be that. It could be because it's too expensive. But I just feel like it would cost less in the long run if they would just cover it. Like Lilly has the golden goose. That's why they are trying to milk this cow for as long as they can. Why did I use a goose and a cow in the same analogy? Like, anyway, they got the golden goose because they got the answer to obesity. Lilly, it's not a cure, but right, because if you stop taking it, you can become obese again. So you're not being cured of obesity, but you know what you are, in a sense, maybe not being cured of, but you know what you're being treated for. That addiction to sugar is addressed by Zepbound, but not no one, but like, that's not being talked about. If the food is the poison and the drug, Zepbound is definitely like the answer. What do you call it when someone's like overdosing? What do you give them? I forget. Like, not quite Narcan, but like think about helping an addict go through the withdrawal. Like you're severing or pushing them into the withdrawal. You're severing that connection for the addiction. Temporarily, right? Because as long as you take the medication, it'll work. But if you stop taking it, it'll stop working. I'm 100% convinced that the diet that Gen Z and X have been exposed to I'm convinced that most of us that are overweight from that are not brains are broken, but like, okay, so let's think about what Zepbound does, right? What does tirzepatide do? It agitates the GLP-1 and GIP receptors. Why aren't we getting that methadone? I didn't want to say it, Jazzy. I didn't want to say it, okay? But But I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I was playing a little dumb. Like I was like, ooh, methadone. I don't want to say that. I was hoping somebody came up with something better. But so yeah. Oh God, I lost my train of thought. I'm telling y'all, like I'm tired. Like I'm yeah, Narcan. Yeah. So Narcan will bring you back once you've overdosed. I didn't want to necessarily say Narcan, but with methadone, it'll like wean you kind of. It'll wean you. But if we've been poisoned, right, with the food, Lilly has the answer. And to be honest, I think I talked about this in one of my previous videos. Like the big food companies, the big sugar was getting shook. Like something like Twinkie or something said their numbers were down. And it's like okay, so what? Big food and big pharma about to duke it out? I would love to see that. Like I would pay good money to see like Eli Lilly and Nabisco fight. Like Eli Lilly and who's the other ones? I don't know. Kraft. Like get the CEO of Eli Lilly. No, not the CEOs. You know what would be a good fight? Get the top scientist or engineer or whatever you call them for Zepbound, right? And get the top scientist or engineer that does the chemicals to make the junk food addictive, right? That comes up with that. If you've never seen that, if you didn't know about that like it's really all worked out in the lab how to make it as addictive as possible. Salt, sugar, fat is one book, and the Dorito effect. The Dorito effect is something else. Like you'll be surprised how much thought went into how tasty a Dorito is. Like it's beyond, it's some sick, like it's sick. But yeah, like get the scientists, let them fight. Like let the drug creator, the ones that make the junk food more addictive, let them and the scientists from Eli Lilly get into the boxing ring or UFC match. I would like to see that. I would pay good money for that. Lilly makes both Zepbound and Manjaro, and they both are tirzepatide, but to insurance, they don't get it the same thing. I think insurance get it. I think they know. That was the point of Zepbound repackaging it so you can get approved, so you can tap into two markets. You can tap into the diabetic market where the insurance would be like, no, you're not diabetic, you're not approved. But with Zepbound, you can tap into the obesity and now sleep apnea market. Okay, so they're just, what I'm noticing is that insurance, they don't believe, I don't think, it's not that they don't know they're the same. I think that they don't believe that obese people need the help like that. So they're just not covering, a lot of insurance companies are not covering Zepbound, but it's more acceptable to cover Manjaro for the diabetics. The big insurance, they just haven't caught up to the fact that no, we need help too. We need help too. Yes. My boyfriend was laughing, and it was around the time when I first started Tirzepatide. My boyfriend was like really dying. Like when they was like robbing, when they was robbing houses for the, or sticking people up for the Ozempic. I was like, I'm never gonna live this down. I was like, oh, I'm never gonna hear the end of this. I'm never gonna hear the end of this. Like he was looking at me like, yeah, that's gonna be you. That's gonna be you. South Park did an excellent job. South Park does a really good job of pointing out obvious stupid things in like in I don't want to say pop culture. That's not pop culture, not pop culture, but like political or whatever is going on in the world, like or at least in America. South Park is really good at making fun of it. South Park is, y'all, real quick, do y'all think Lizzo's on a GLP-1? Not that it should be T, but from what I've heard on Rihanna's internet, okay, is that Lizzo was out here fat shaming people. And I've seen a couple of TikToks of her talking ish. Like when she was selling herself as being big and big was the thing to be, I heard she was like, she was shaming people that didn't want, when I say fat shaming, like shaming the ones that wanted to lose weight. That's what I heard. And now she's lost a bunch of weight. Oh, here's the thing. Allegedly. Here's why I think she's on a GLP-1, which I wouldn't even judge her for if she would just be honest about how she treated people. Okay. People that are overweight, we always try to lose weight. And we're always temporarily successful, and then it falls apart. Nobody, and I don't care what anybody says, nobody wants to be 300 pounds overweight or 200 pounds overweight. Okay, except the sumo wrestler, because that's a part of their career. Nobody wants that, right? So you get a part, you become a part of these movements that are about loving yourself and appreciating yourself, which is great. But in that, you start to gaslight people that don't want to be overweight, or you start to gaslight people that are naturally at a healthy weight, right? And then you attack viciously people that decide they don't want to be overweight anymore. People that are overweight, that are supposed to be your allies, right? We're in this together, fat acceptance. Once they decide that's not what they want anymore, and they find a way to get to the other side of the spectrum, you get viciously attacked. And Lizzo was a part of that. She was a part of that crowd, right? But now Lizzo's dropping weight, which is good for her. She looks amazing. She should drop weight. And if she is using a GLP-1, she should. Good for her. She should do it the easy way, because it's been a struggle forever. We were set up to gain the weight, and now we got an answer to lose it. And it sucks that it costs so much. But if you can get it, I say get it and use it. But Lizzo, you was one of them girls that was shaming people. So I'm not team go Lizzo go, oh my gosh, she looks so good, she lost so much weight. What happened to fat being better? You said it was better. You said that's what you wanted for your life, and that's what the big girls were supposed to want. Now you just left them high and dry. Like matter of fact, the first time she tried to lose weight, they started attacking her, and she was very upset about that. Not that that was very wrong for them to attack her, but I guess she tuned them out and lost the weight anyway. And now it's like, I don't want to say F y'all bees, but that's the energy she's given. Like, she just left that whole community behind. And to be honest, you should leave it. But I prefer the people that leave it vocally. Like, oh, I realize y'all ain't shit. I realize that y'all lied to me. And this happens with younger people typically. Like, I've seen it on TikTok, or I've seen people talk about it on YouTube from TikTok or whatever. And it's like, y'all lied to me. My health does matter. My weight does matter. My weight does affect my health. I didn't know any better. I found this group of people saying that everybody else was wrong and I was right, and I believe them. And now that I'm a little bit older and my health is affecting me, I realize y'all lied, and I'm out of here. I gotta lose the weight, and they get viciously attacked. So I think Lizzo, if she's on a GLP-1, she doesn't have to tell anybody. She doesn't have to. But because she's a public figure, like Oprah. I mean, I don't really care about the Oprah thing, but Oprah, that was a little scummy that you didn't tell. You was selling a weight loss program that didn't even work for you. You were on a GLP-1. That was a little, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's another reason why I wanted to do a channel, because I didn't want to just show up one day, like I haven't struggled with my weight my whole life. I'd rather just document it so people can go back and see what my struggles were, or see it along the way. I'd rather just document it in case it ever comes up of like, oh, but you lost weight using a GLP-1. So why I got to do it the hard way to make you feel better? Like, no. So the whole Lizzo thing, girl, you don't just suddenly figure out how to lose weight that fast. If she comes out and says she's on a GLP-1 and she starts getting roasted, she deserves it. But not forever. She deserves an initial level of roasting, but not forever, because they talked about that in the South Park episode too, how she was kind of encouraging this like lifestyle of like the bigger, the better, be big. And just because you're overweight or obese doesn't mean you're less of a person, but it's just, I'm just saying. All the famous people that have the money to have a gym, trainer, chefs, doctors at home, and couldn't lose weight, all of a sudden that Ozempic became a thing. They were losing weight fast. Do y'all know Man, I forget his name. This is the dude that when I watched his videos, a white man from the UK, I think, or Australia. He has an accent. I forget. He was on a press run doing interviews about how Ozempic changed his life. And he's a compelling speaker. Compelling. I stumbled onto his videos. I kid y'all not. I was on my way to Vegas. I shared the pictures of the Vegas photos before. That was at my highest weight. I was on my way to Vegas. I binge listened to this man's stuff. Damn, I can't, like, why does Trevor Noah keep popping up? It's not Trevor Noah, but it's because they were on the same show, and Trevor Noah's the last person I watched on this particular show. Diary of a CEO. The last episode I watched was with Trevor Noah, so he keeps popping up. But there's another guy that was on there, a white guy. I mean, he was so compelling about the case for Ozempic that before I made it back home, I had already ordered my tirzepatide. I was like, oh, this is a no motherfucking brainer. Okay, this is a no. It was a no-brainer. I was actually looking, I told this story before, I was looking for a plastic surgeon for lipo for when I would eventually get to my goal weight, trying to go through the whole fasting and low carb thing again. I was looking for a plastic surgeon, and I found a plastic surgeon that offered tirzepatide and semaglutide. And I was like, what the hell is this? When I went researching for it, I found this guy's videos. If I find him, I'll link it. But he talked about how during the pandemic, he went to a party and he was like, wow, I guess everybody was doing Pilates and stuff during the lockdowns. Like, damn, everybody looks so thin. Like, he said gaunt. He did say gaunt, but he was like, wow, like everybody looks so thin. I guess everybody was working out and doing Pilates. And his friend was like, you're joking, right? Like, you don't know. You don't know. He's like, know what? And his friend was like, they're all on Ozempic. They're all on Ozempic. And he's like, fuck's Ozempic? Like, what are you talking about? And then it started him down this whole rabbit hole of Hollywood and all the celebrities being on Ozempic, getting thin overnight. And they had it to themselves for the longest time. I would say average people started to get with maybe 2022-ish, 2023. And then really into like 2024. But yeah, I was like, ooh, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I don't think there's any shame in it. I really don't. Like, you know what it is? It's that a lot of people took it too far. Like, a lot of people were already at a healthy weight or thin and wanted to get thinner, and they ended up looking like ghosts. They ended up looking like ghosts. So there's this negative stigma with weight loss drugs. I'm not saying no names, but there's a couple of YouTubers, right, that have reviewed videos of TikToks of people for and against GLP-1s. Some of them are overweight. Some of them not so much. The not so much crowd are the ones that is just like, they don't quite get it. They don't quite get why a person would want to use drugs to lose weight or peptides or whatever. And then the overweight crowd, not crowd, but the couple of YouTubers that I know that are overweight that talk about it, they talk about it from a standpoint like they're trying to talk themselves out of it. And there's a part of me that just wants to reach through the screen and grab them and say, you don't have to feel ashamed. Like, you don't have to feel ashamed about the fact that you're low-key interested. But because you're a public figure with a large following and you talk about like all the fat, crazy stuff that's happening on TikTok, you feel like if you take that leap, people are going to judge you for it. Listen. He speaks about how he thought everyone would be fat and how everyone was thin. I watched him too. He was amazing. What the fuck is his name? Okay, let me look it up. Diary of a CEO, Ozempic. His name is Johan Hari. Yeah. Let me see if I can spell it. Yep. If you binge watch, or you don't even have to binge watch it, but if you watch some of his stuff, man, that man he's a compelling speaker. I was like, oh no, there's no way. Like, this makes perfect sense. You ever hear something, you're like, how did I not know about this sooner? Like, this makes absolute perfect sense. It's not a big deal. It's their body health, but when they feel the need to lie about it, instead of just being quiet about like everything else, they don't want people to know. Right? Just shh. Just shut up. What you gotta do? You're talking about Johan Hari. Yes, yes. Who wrote a book called Magic Pill? That's how I started truly learning about GLP-1s. He's amazing. Who are you? You just fell out of the clouds. Hi. Thank you for commenting. Yes. Yes. He's phenomenal. You know who else is good? She's a little She's okay. Let me. What's her name? Tina Moore is good too. Dr. Tina Moore. She talks about microdosing. If you ever hear people talk about microdosing, I promise you, they got it from her. They got it from her. Dr. Tina Moore pretty much coined the term microdosing. Well, I don't know if she coined the term, but when it comes to GLP-1s, she's the one that mostly talks about it. She was also on Diary of CEO. She's pretty good. The only difference is she feels like people are being overdosed on peptides. She feels like the 5 milligrams and the 7.5s and the 10 milligrams, she feels like all of that is too high. That's a lot of where I get my spirit from, of like, if I don't have to go higher, I won't. But for those that do have to go higher, great. Like, it's fine. If I need to go higher, I will. But she feels like and her thing isn't, she has lost weight, but her thing wasn't weight loss. She has some other autoimmune stuff going on, her dad, or her mom, like her family or whatever. And she used the micro dosing, like less than 2.5 milligrams, to address a lot of issues. But she works with a lot of other peptides. She's a wonderful doctor. But she feels like some of the higher doses are just too much. And she's not super compelling, but I get it. Like, I like her. I think she's a great speaker. I think she's a great speaker. I love Dr. Tina. I learned about micro. I was very sensitive to the 2.5. I had to split the dose. Then I found her, it was epic. See what I mean? Some people are just really, really sensitive to the lower doses. They're really, really sensitive to the lower doses. And split dosing, micro dosing, that's her thing. Like, I'm talking about, like, you start at a 2.5. No, some people need to start at a 0.5. Like, I don't even know what that looks like in a syringe. I don't even know what that looks like. What does 0.5 milligrams look like? Like half a milligram in a syringe. I don't even know what that looks like. And she does a good job when she's on Diary of a CEO. She demonstrates it. I thought this was genius. They had a syringe and like some water with dye in it or something set up for her, so she can demonstrate what she means when she says microdosing. So she does a demonstration where she shows what a typical dose is and then what she means, and it was like a fraction. It was like a fraction of a regular dose. Dr. Tina's great. I love her. Like, I like her a lot. I feel like she's a little hard on people for being on some of the higher doses, because it really depends on what your goals are. 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and 2.5 every 5 days now. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I was really, really hopeful that I could have lost all my weight on a 2.5, but it stopped working for me very quickly. And I was like, you know what? It's an entry dose. It's fine. So, but my favorite dose was the 5 milligram. It really was. Now, like I said before, I've heard that the half doses, like the 7.5 and the 12.5, are a little wacky. So maybe that's the issue that I've been having on compound with the 7.5. But now that I've switched to Zepbound, I think I'm okay. Like, I think I'm good with the 7.5. I'm either gonna go up to a 10 or down to a 5 eventually. Like, because I've heard good things about the 10 to 10 milligram. I just don't get it. Like, I don't get why I need a 10 milligram, but I've heard such good things about the 10 milligram dose. Like, phenomenal. Like, everyone loves the 10 milligram dose. But I haven't heard good things about the 7.5, so we will see. Maintenance every 2.5 every 2 weeks is my goal. That's my ultimate goal, is 2.5 every 2 weeks. Doses can be too high, oversaturate. Yeah, but you know what? I also plan to cycle. Like, there's gonna come a time where I just come off. Like, I'm gonna wean myself off and try to stay off for about 4 to 6 months, and then to allow my sensitivity to come back, and then start over again with a 2.5. Oh, you're trying to go outside? Hold on, this cat wants to go outside. He's like scratching at a window. Hold on. Okay, cat. I think it's raining. There you go. There you go. Oh, okay. Well, if you get rained on, it's not my fault. Poor cat was just sitting there scratching at the door. I'm over here messing around with y'all. Okay, so now I talked about whether or not one of y'all were gonna want to come up and talk. I think I'm gonna be on here for probably another few minutes. Yeah, starting off fresh, definitely. Let me see if I can even figure out copy. Let me see. Right? Oh shit. Hold on. I'm gonna pin it. Oh, do I have to do it from YouTube? Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to pin my comment. Hold on. I'm not really sure. Let me see. How do I pin my comment? There we go. Okay. So, I microdosed my whole journey by taking half of the 2.5 dose. I never went higher, down 64 pounds. Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. I think had I started with brand, I would have easily been able to, at least with the 5 milligram. I think I would have been able to do it with the 2.5 though. I'm not gonna lie. I think because I changed pharmacies so many times and they all have different potencies, like it wasn't consistent. So I'm looking forward to the consistency of brand. But I went ahead and pinned the link to, damn, I don't have any headphones. I don't know how this is supposed to work because I've never done this before. But I pinned the link. If anybody's interested, you could click the link and come up, and you don't have to put your camera on if you wanna talk to me or talk about anything. But if not, it's fine. No peer pressure. Like I said, forced labor on my niece, my cousin and my sister. I'm gonna force labor them into this. But this is twice now. I didn't tell them I was going live before I actually went live. I actually don't know if this is gonna work because I don't have any headphones on me. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see. Just in case. I'm not sure if I need headphones for this, but just in case. Just in case. Okay. All right. So yeah. I want to. So did anybody watch the video? Okay, it was bad. My audio was bad. My Wi-Fi was messing up. It was a little choppy. But did anybody watch the live stream when I was reviewing the TikToks? I think I still have some of those on here. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Go for it, girl. Let me see. Let me put my headphones on. I don't even know if I need them, but I'm assuming I do. I'm assuming there would be some sort of weird, like, echoey situation. Hold on. Oh wait. Type of 1 if you can hear me. No, you don't have to put your camera on. That's fine. Let me see. Type of 1 if you can hear me. Okay. I don't know how to do this. So once you click the link, I think I'll get notified that you've done it. You should be able to hear me now, Jazzy. Let me know. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's see. I need some food. Not because I'm hungry, but because I can't get into the habit of not eating. Hi, Alexis.
Hi everyone.
Oh, you know what's so weird? You're coming through. Can y'all let me know if there's an echo? You're coming through my hold on, let me change my settings. You're coming through
Okay, you
my
know what? Let me
speaker.
put my headphone. Let me find my headphones if I
I
have
don't
them
think
at
it's you.
home.
I think it's me. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Now I can hear you in my headphones. I didn't want your
Can you hear me now?
yes, I can hear you. Can everybody hear Alexis? Jazzy says hello. I don't know if you can see the chat, but if you can't, I'll just let you know what everyone's saying. Hi Alexis, how are you?
I'm doing well, and you know what? The least bit I can do is come on here and tell you thank you for caring, because you really have carried me through my GLP-1 journey. You're one of the content creators that has I've learned a lot from, and you've motivated me and inspired me. You know what I mean? I like to follow a lot of content creators because whether they're successful or struggling or least
Yeah.
successful, we all can motivate each other, and you're looking great. And I remember when you were on that compound. Um, was it Moti or one of those
Yeah. I was on a
compounds you
few of
said that
them.
was
Yeah.
mixed with glycine, and you
Mm-hmm.
said it wasn't working, and and
Yeah.
but so I tried MIDI Health, and they were more menopause and weight loss control and stuff, but they were telling me, oh, you'll be okay. Here I am with a 30 BMI and a high
Ah, you
glucose and
know,
A1C, and they're like, oh, just eat an avocado, a little olive oil and exercise. And I'm like, are you playing with me right now? Like, do you know how old I am?
plant-based
So
diet is what I used to
stop.
get. Just start a plant-based diet.
Right, exactly. So my first 4 months, and that was in July. My first 4 months, I did lose weight like 12 pounds naturally, but it was tough as nails. It was hard, and I was like, no, I'm killing myself. And then I found out I wanted to get Wegovy because I didn't know about terzepatide, and then I had learned about terzepatide. I found all you guys' videos, and so I jumped on the GLP-1 GIP, and I started losing like a pound and a half or
Mm-hmm.
1.4 pounds every week. So I didn't lose like miraculously or anything. I did the work. I worked out, I ate my protein. I struggle with the water thing, but you know, if I do everything they tell me to do, I would lose the 1.4. I was just happy
Yeah.
with that because my body was not trying to let stuff go. So yeah, and I've always been small. I've always been skinny and had the body. Everybody hated on. But then
Mm-hmm.
once I got like
Mm-hmm.
49, that slowed down. Like it's crazy. I'm telling you, ladies, if you're going before you go through menopause, get on some bioidentical or start exercising, because once that weight get on your back, it wasn't coming off that easy. So
I have heard this. Yes, I've heard like the older you get, the harder it is to get it off. And that's another reason why I'm trying to get it off now. Like I've been struggling with my weight since I was a teenager, like actually trying to lose weight, and I would be successful and then gain it back, and I would be successful and gain it back.
mhm,
So I'm like, I don't wanna wait, I don't wanna wait too long. I talked about before how
mhm.
eventually, I wanna be able to get pregnant, and I don't wanna be obese and pregnant. So it's a lot. Like I don't want to go backwards. I
Well,
definitely don't
you're
want to go
looking
backwards.
great. You're looking good. I've been
Thank
following you.
you.
Good. And I love your content, and thanks for caring. And yeah, I just wanted to, and stress also played a part because I do have a son and he had a late diagnosis, mental stuff going on. We moved to Georgia and he went through a few mental hospitals, and I gained a lot of weight then, and my cortisol level went up, insulin resistant and stuff. So it's different factors
Absolutely.
too that could put that weight on you. So that's why this is really near dear to my heart. But I'm so
Yeah.
thankful too for GLP-1. Girl, it is a
Yeah.
miracle drug.
It's a miracle, and I'm glad you found the channel. I'm glad you're here, and I'm definitely glad you came up, because now maybe in the future some other people will take a chance to come up and say hi.
Yes.
So
Listen,
thank
I
you. I
definitely
appreciate
thank
it.
you. I appreciate you.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.
See, y'all, that wasn't so scary. And Alexis, I don't know if you could see, but people were saying hi in the chat. That was really nice to hear. Like it was really nice to hear that, you know, people know that I care. Like that's really all I want. Like that's really all I want is for people to be able to realize that it's hard. It really is hard, and it does take a day at a time, and you're gonna backslide, and you're gonna mess up, and then you're gonna make progress. And it's not the easiest. No, it's gotten easier. Let me stop lying. But it wasn't the easiest thing to share my journey when I was first getting started. Extremely camera shy, just extremely shy overall. But I'm glad I did it. I'm definitely glad I did it. And Zepbound is about to get me right. Like, okay, guys, ladies, and gents, because there's some guys, but they're not commenting. I know y'all are in here. I know you're in here. Drop a one if you're. No, let me not. Y'all don't have to fall out of the clouds if you want to. But I see y'all. I see y'all in my analytics. Um, okay, so I'm gonna get out of here, but I want to say, okay, it's 8:15. Wow, I should have did this earlier. I'm going to Europe in August. I have 67 days, right? I shouldn't count it this way, but I am. But I am. I'm going to Europe and I want to lose 20 pounds before I go. I really do. And I feel like I can lose 20 pounds in 2 months, 2.5 months ish. Like that should be completely doable. Oh, I wanted to say to Alexis, I was losing about 1 to 1.5 pounds too, 1.4, 1.3. Like, which compared to other people seems really slow, but I think it has allowed me to keep the weight off because I didn't lose it too fast. So it's fine. Some people lose like 40 pounds in 4 months, 60 pounds. And I'm just like, oh, how nice. It must be nice. But my weight is not going down that fast. But I think it will. I think I will start to go down lipo boost. I'm not sure what that is. Let me know what that is. I'm not sure. Also, somebody mentioned NAD plus and NAD plus, and I was this close to getting it today, but it's a slow drip and it was gonna take 2 hours of my time. It was going to take 2 hours of my time. So I'm going to have to wait until I have actual time to sit there for 2 hours and do the NAD plus drip. It was a little pricey too, but if it does what people say it does, oh, hi, Eye of Wisdom.
Hey, how are you?
You just popped up on me. I was like, what? Who's this face? How are you?
Fine, how are you? Excuse me, I'm in my house
You're
clothes.
fine. I'm over here feelings hurt because you were being very mean to me in the chat. Like,
I love you. I think you're very intelligent, and that's why I choose to watch your streaming. I think,
thank you so much.
there's so many people, out there with their own things, and I just love how genuine you are, and I can tell right away that you're intelligent. I like intelligent people.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so much. See what you started, Alexis? You got Eye of Wisdom up here. Y'all
I'm
gonna
like, let
start
me
clicking
hop
with
on
me.
here.
Thank you. You look great. So, do you want to tell me anything really quickly about
Yeah,
the
I
way
can
the
share
journey you've
my
been on?
journey with you. Whenever Monjero, before Zepbound even came out, all of us nurses hurried up and hopped on to Monjero, and we were going through telehealth.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped a ton of weight. I ended up getting very sick because I could not eat, and what it did was it caused my liver to create too much acidity, and my
Mm.
lipase levels ended up, like, I kept getting like cramping and everything else, and my lipase levels almost went into septic shock. So me being a nurse, I decided to just stop cold turkey because I could have died. And
Yeah.
so I went off a year. When I tell you, because a lot of people don't know this, but the Zepbound, the Monjero, the terzepatide actually deposits both small and medium molecules of fat into your body. So when you go off of it, which I did for a whole year, I gained everything back plus.
Mm.
So I ended up going up to 189 pounds, and I'm down to 123. And I knew then I could not take like the full dose of the
Mm-hmm.
5. So I just took syringe needles and I microdosed my way down.
So you did go back to get the weight off again.
I what?
You went back on to tirzepatide to get the weight off
Yes.
again.
Yes. I started back on compound because I was so afraid of my
Yeah.
experience that I microdosed with that. Now, I went back to the pens. I took pens though, and I order on Amazon the sterile vials because I'm a nurse, and I mixed it with bacteriostatic water and alcohol. And what I did was I mixed those together, and I would just microdose my way, depending upon how I feel about every 5 days. I'm not saying anyone
Mm-hmm.
ever do that, but that's what I did.
Yeah.
So I've never ever taken the 2.5 again, and I absolutely won't.
I am incredibly fascinated by the people that find the 2.5 too strong, like
Yeah.
that is really, really, really fascinating
I
to
wish
me.
it wasn't, because like my sister-in-law, she was on the highest dose of Wegovy. She lost over 100 pounds, and she did such a tremendous job. But I'm so sensitive. Like, I don't like taking meds, just like you. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like meds because I'm a nurse. I know the
Mm-hmm.
doctors get paid for giving meds. I know about pharma. I know all the side effects. So, like, if you've seen all the supplements that I take and B12 shots and all of that I get,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy to replace my nutrients that I would lose. But yeah, I'm anti, things, but this was like, near and dear to me. I struggled with my weight my whole life and got teased for it. So
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think that you'll be at a point where you no longer want to take a GLP-1, or is this something that you feel is lifelong for you?
when I went off of it, I gained everything back. The appetite comes back raving.
Terrible.
It's ravenous. I mean, when I tell you, before I could have some sort of self-control, but when I went off of it, your appetite comes back ravenously. And
Because it's being suppressed for so long, and that's what I'm saying, like something is broken.
something,
Something is broken.
and
Like,
another thing, the terzepatide is 5 times more a GIP, which affects your medulla. It goes
mm-hmm.
to your medulla all the way down, and what it affects is your vagus nerve. So it's 5 times more a GIP than it is a GLP. That's why we don't get as much nausea as Wegovy.
Mm.
But so it really mentally turns off the food noise in your brain.
But like the thing is, so I love that, but it makes me wonder, like, why do we have that problem? Why do we have that food noise problem? There's something wrong with the food.
There's something wrong with me. So I have used food as a food addict. I have used food for as my addiction, as my way of coping, like a coping mechanism my whole life from my childhood. Like you
Mm-hmm.
were talking about my 600 but life. I love that show. I love that show.
I joke like every other week, I'm going to see Dr. Now. Like at
I
this
love
point,
Dr. Now.
Dr. Now, make it right
I
for me.
know, right? I know, but I love them.
And Dr. Paradise, I want to see Dr. Paradise.
I know, like it's amazing, but I know that I've used food my whole life, not because I'm hungry, but because my appetite. There's a difference I learned between hunger and actual appetite.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, my cravings have always been, well, I'm an emotional eater, and
me
it's
too.
never really hunger. It's not that I struggle with hunger. It's
Yeah,
I'm in the mood to eat, or I'm
yeah.
sad, or I'm
Me,
celebrating, or I'm
that's me.
this, or I'm that.
That's
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I,
I swear, like the other day, it was like, like Zepbound was like, whoop, whoop, new sheriff in town. We're not doing that. Like,
I
you're not, we're not doing that. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? My bestie, sugar. Like, what am
I
I gonna do?
know. I
It's
know.
rough.
I know. I just want to hop on really quick and tell you that I really, really love your content. I think you're amazing. You're very intelligent. The fact that you can budget like that, I really respect. And I'm looking forward to whenever you do that, because that's very
Yeah.
helpful and everything that you do. So I just wanted to hop on, let you know I support you. I think that you're very smart. There's these big people on here that I don't follow, like
Mm-hmm.
the bigger people. But because I like what, you're genuine, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Somebody was calling me funny recently, and I'm like, but I'm not trying. I'm like, I
I
really
know.
act like this.
You're just,
But
yeah,
thank you so much for coming up.
you're
You're
welcome.
beautiful.
Thanks
I'm so
for
glad
having
you showed
me.
your face. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you. Nice meeting everyone.
Nice
Bye
to meet
bye.
you. Bye. Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. So the sugar noise, I miss my bestie sugar. I miss my bestie. I think I'm gonna write a song. Like this is I'm going through it, y'all. Like I need like I'm sending you a 4-page letter. Like I just need, I have needs. I I'm okay. Okay, fine. But thank you. Thank you. But I'm you y'all, like I'm I don't know. I don't know. I think something's wrong with me, but maybe not. Maybe not. If you could leave them Cole's Pepsi, Cole's Pepsi? What do you mean? And candy bars alone. So do I want to get into cakes? Okay. Do I want to get into what we're doing in June? I'm giving up sugar and not sugar, soda and juice in June for 30 days. So that means even the zero sugar juices and sodas. So I have Coke Zero and Sprite Zero right now, the little mini ones, and I have some zero sugar Minute Maid or something like that. But I'm getting rid of that in June, and fried food, and I have a list. I forgot. But we have, for some reason, me and my cousin, mostly my cousin, right? I'm going to keep throwing my cousin under the bus because that's just how this goes. But we cannot get our lives together and be disciplined for a challenge unless there's money on the table. So the deal is, if anybody messes up each week, like, you have to buy the other two lunch, and the budget is $50. So imagine messing up every week and having to spend $200 for the month paying for other people's food because you messed up and had a Sprite. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Bay L protein bars and gummy vitamins. Did you mean ginger gummies? Apple cider vinegar gummies together? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for coming up. You guys are beautiful. You and Alexis, like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, you're gonna make me cry. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Okay. All right, it's getting late, so I'm gonna get out of here. And okay. So before I go, I did this last time. I keep saying before I go, before I let you go. Okay. What was I gonna say? The budgeting video. Okay. Let me just give you a quick hint, not a quick rundown. I don't mind. It's not gonna ruin the video. It's not really a video. It's more of like one of these. It's not really gonna ruin it. Let me just give you a quick rough draft of what I have, so that you guys can more so anticipate what we're looking at as far as the type of live that I'm contemplating doing. If I can find my notes, let's see. Okay, right? 7 ways to be able to afford your Zepbound, right? Or whatever. It could be whatever you're trying to budget for, but specifically we're talking about Zepbound. Now, I'm making some assumptions. I'm making the assumption that you've already checked with your insurance and that you don't have coverage or you don't have insurance. I'm making the assumption that we're talking about the vials and not the pens, because I have no idea how you're supposed to budget for the pens. That's outrageous. I have no idea how you're supposed to do that. And I'm under the assumption that compound is an option, but you no longer want to go the compound route because that would also be the cheapest way to go. So you missed this song, Tris. So I tried to eat the same amount of sugar and fat that I could eat on compound, and the Zepbound stopped me. So now I'm a slave to Lilly because they got me in line. I'm in GLP-1 jail right now. And Lilly has made me their bitch, like, because I'm in love. Like, I've been on Zepbound for 3 days and I'm in love. Okay. But so what was I saying? Okay. So I'm making some assumptions when I go into this list of things that will help you get it's not always necessarily about getting more income, but that's one of the options. But help you work out the budget that you already have to fit Zepbound into your budget. And it requires obviously sacrificing some things. So I also broke it down into certain categories. So I'm single, no kids, right? So some of my ideas are more suitable for single people that don't have to consider a family to take care of, but that doesn't mean you can't apply it if you so choose. The next layer is single mothers, because someone mentioned that in the comments. Again, I just try to think from the aspect of like, okay, how would a single mother be able to budget this in? And again, that doesn't mean you can't apply this. I just try to keep that in mind. The third layer is if you are a family, right? So now if you have another adult to consider, or you guys are considering this together, plus children. And then the last category is just anybody that is employed. So you can use all of these together, or you can pick one out of a hat, or whichever. But I try to think of it from different aspects of different demographics of people, right? So from the aspect of a, I don't want to start with a single person because that's where the house sitting comes in, and y'all not ready for that. So let me go backwards. So for anybody, right, the category that's going to be most broad reaching, right, for anybody that has a traditional job, the FSA and the HSA are going to probably be your best bet. Like I said, this is assuming you've already checked with your insurance and they don't cover anything. But if you haven't checked, what are you doing? Definitely go check your insurance first, because you might have coverage and don't even know it. But if you don't have coverage and you have to self-pay, FSA and HSA are going to be your best options, okay? I'm not going to go into the details of how it works and all of that, but I'm just giving you the rundown of what we're going to talk about when I decide to do that video. The other option would be to sell some things, right? Nobody's going to convince me that we don't all have some things that we need to sell, okay? All right. You could sell some things in order to get some extra cash if you want to stock up on Zepbound. Now, you can't necessarily sell things forever, so it's not a long-term strategy. But if you were in a process of transitioning, or if you still wanted to continue compound on your usual budget, but you wanted to get Zepbound into your stockpile, go ahead and sell some stuff to go ahead and get you a few vials. So they come in fours, obviously, for a 1 month supply. Go ahead and sell some stuff to get you your Zepbound if that's what you so choose. Again, there's more that goes into that. We will talk about it when I do the video. Now, if you have a family, right? So you have children to consider plus another adult. One of the things, the major thing, right? So when people think of budgeting, this is exactly what they think of. This is going to be the most friendly way to do this if you have multiple people to consider outside of yourself, and that's going to be cutting expenses. That's probably going to be the bulk of the video, because I don't think people realize how much expenses you can actually cut and potentially find $200 or $300 extra or even $500 extra. Like, let's say you're already on compound paying $200-$300 a month. I've paid as much as $4. We can find an extra $100 in your budget. Or if you're paying $3, we can find $2. Or if you're not on anything and you want to jump straight into Zepbound and you want to look for the $500 in your budget, that's where the cutting the expenses is going to come from. And I'm going to go through how to figure out which expenses to cut without cutting your necessities. The next thing for families would be shopping smarter. So this could be changing your grocery store, right? Like switching from like a Publix to an Aldi, or switching from like a Kroger. I don't know if Kroger is expensive, which is the expensive one. I don't know. Or switching from like a Whole Foods to a Trader Joe's, or a Whole Foods to a Publix, right? Whatever level of grocery shopping that you're used to, find a cheaper alternative. It doesn't quite have to be Walmart, but if it needs to be Walmart for some of your stuff, then you may need to do that if it'll free up an extra $150 a month. And then we're gonna go into shopping sales, discounts. Make sure you have the discount card for the grocery store you shop at. When I tell y'all, my main grocery store where I live is called Harris Teeter. When I tell y'all, for some reason, not everybody has the store card. Like, they charge outrageous prices. And if you have the store card, the things that are on sale, like, there's been times when if something is typically priced at $8, but if you have the store card, you can get it for $5.75 or $6.25 or something, like $6.50 or something like that. And then you do that with 10 or 12 items. If the person in front of me, now granted, they're probably driving like a Mercedes SUV or something like that. Like they usually have a nice car, but like, cause I'll see it on their keychain. I'm nosy like that. I'm nosy, but it'll be somebody, it'll be some older woman or gentleman or whatever. And they put like $400 or $500 worth of groceries on the thing. And they ask, do you have a Vic card? And they'll say no. I'll be like, that could have easily been $75 in savings. Like, and it doesn't work like that with every store, but I'm just saying, whatever store you're shopping at, make sure you have the store card. So whatever sales you happen to come across, they apply to you. Okay. So again, We'll go more into detail into that. So if you have, so, okay, single mom, single parents, right? This is a little bit harder. This is a little bit harder because you don't have another income from another person to help you. So I tried to get creative here, and you're probably not going to like what I have to say, but solutions, you don't got to take it, but solutions, right? One of the things that you could do is start a YouTube channel. Okay. You can start a YouTube channel and about whatever you want. It could be about Zepbound. It could not. You can start a YouTube channel. If I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. This allows you to, one, not have to consider a second job or childcare, like additional childcare or anything like that. Or maybe your kids are old enough to take care of themselves, which if they are, then we'll get into the whole second job thing. But if you have small children and you're doing it by yourself, woman, man, don't matter, you can start a YouTube channel. This allows you to be home with an internet connection and work your way to potentially making money on YouTube. I don't make money yet. I've been doing this for almost a year. But I also work a full-time job, so I just haven't put as much effort into it. But that doesn't mean I won't ever make money. And hopefully someday I will. But that's one option. Consider making money online. And the avenue that I simply chose was start a YouTube channel. Get in front of your camera and talk to people about whatever you know the most about. I know that sounds very shallow and simple, but I will go more into detail when we talk about it. The next thing for a single mom is you can stretch out when you order your Zepbound, okay? And this could apply to anybody, but I'm just thinking like how it would work for this particular person. Instead of ordering every 4 weeks, you can order every 6 weeks because you have to order within 45 days. Now, I'm assuming that you're on this is if you're on a 7.5 milligram and you need the discount. If you're on a 5 milligram, there's no discount. You just pay the price of $500. And if you're on the 2.5, you just pay the $400. And if you're on the 10 milligram or above, there is a discount, but I think the same 45 days applies. Don't quote me on that. But again, you can stretch out when you place your order. If you need to stretch it out further, like you could just disregard the discount altogether and pay the full price for your Zepbound. But instead of ordering it every month, you can order it every 6 to 8 weeks, right? So if you have compound, again, and you want to stock up on Zepbound, you can do it that way. You don't have to order it every month. This is a little harder if you don't already have compound on hand. So you kind of need your medication every week. You could consider stretching the doses, meaning like instead of taking them, and I'm not your doctor, so definitely consult with your physician, but hypothetically, instead of taking them every 7 days, maybe take them every 10 days or whatever, depending on your needs and things like that. So instead of having to order your Zepbound, spend $500 per month, maybe spend $500 every other month is another solution. The last one is if you're single and you don't have no other people to consider. This is where it gets a bit more dramatic, okay? I'm gonna just go ahead and put the second job out there. This could apply to anybody. It could apply to a single parent. It could apply to a person with a family. It could apply to anybody. But most of the time, if you have a family or if you're doing it by yourself, people aren't gonna want to work a second job, okay? So, but I'm a second jobber. I don't have one right now, but I am a second jobber. If I want something or need something, I'm gonna go out there and get a second job. So that's where your DoorDashes and your ride shares come in. Or if you want working online, YouTube could be potentially a second job. It just takes time to get monetized. Making money online, or you can go out and get a second traditional part-time job. I think if you can swing about 15 to 20 hours a week between like, I don't want to put a number on it hourly. I'll do the math, figure it out. But 15 to 20 hours a week should get you like what you need. If you care, like if that's something that you're interested in. The last thing is the house sitting. Now, I don't know that anybody's interested in this, okay? But I'm gonna put it out there because this is what I'm doing. Mostly I do the cutting expenses thing, right? When that's not enough, I will go to the second job, okay? However, something that I'm doing now. Oh, okay. So hear me out, Alexis. Let me go through your comments real quick. Commercial insurance. I need a better provider to get approved for pens. She won't enforce my old lab results. The BMI 30, high A1C. Okay. Employed commercial insurance, grown kids, but covers for Manjaro, Zepbound. No, Manjaro, not Zepbound. My labs are great. Yeah, I have Marketplace insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they don't cover Zepbound. I'll bring my luxury bags on live. Some authentic, some TikTok bags. What you gonna do? Sell them? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Sell them? Because somebody on here buying them could be using that for their Zepbound. No, let me stop. That don't mean somebody can't buy them. Shit, I might buy them. But Publix more expensive than Kroger. Stretch and do the work. Work out, eat right, drink your water. You will lose the weight. DoorDash for GLP-1. Okay. Telehealth do Afterpay and Klarna. Don't do this. No. Let me not say that. I take that back. I'm not saying don't do this. But the thing about it is, when we talk about cutting expenses, one of the things that's going to come up is cutting your debt. Everybody, say it with me now. Minimum payments, right? Think about all of the debt payments you have right now. Could you come up, if you didn't have any of that debt, could you come up with $500 for Zepbound? You could say yes or no in the chat. All of the debt payments that you have, you don't have to tell me what they are or how much they total up to. If you got rid of all of your minimum payments, would you be able to have enough money to swing Zepbound? If you're in debt, okay? If you're in debt. Cause me, I have a lot of debt right now. Most of it credit card debt because I was being dumb. But I'm aggressively paying it off right now. Like most of my income goes to paying off my credit card debt right now because that's a choice. I could pay less, but most of it goes because I'm trying to speed up the process. Okay. So house sitting. I did not come up with this. I follow a channel called, I don't know her channel name off the top of my head. I'm a bad person. I'm such a horrible person. My God, what is her channel name? I'm having a brain fart. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, I can't think of it right now. Oh my God, black woman, beautiful black woman. Oh my God, she put me onto house sitting. Somebody in the chat knows it. She does trusted house sitters because somebody mentioned it before. I took my Claritin today and my nasal spray, so my nose isn't as itchy, but it's like it's itching a little bit. The thing with house sitting, okay? What is house sitting? So, through a platform called Trusted House Sitters, pet parents and pet lovers, that sounded bad. That sounded weird. People that like pets are able to find each other, right? And arrange for care for the pets in the home while the pet parents are away. It's unpaid. Hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Like, this is what I mean when I say y'all are not ready for this. So that I have to go into it in detail in the next video. Not the next video, but when I do the video. It's unpaid. The exchange is you get a place to stay in whatever city you want, and technically it's across the world. Whatever city you want, whatever country you want, in exchange for a free place to stay, free accommodation, you agree to take care of their pets while they are away. Sounds easy enough if you like pets, right? So for me, I'm single with no children. Now, people do this with kids, but that's highly unlikely that people are going to give up their homes and take their kids and go house sitting. Okay, it's very unlikely. Couples do this, but it's not unlikely. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all and say it's unlikely. It's not unlikely. Most of the people that have the time to do this are retirees. So most house sitters are retirees, right? They have the time, they have the freedom, their kids are grown, they can travel the world and go house sit in Australia for 6 months if they want to, or they can go to California if they want to. You know what I mean? Now for me, I don't have any children, I'm not married, and my lease is almost up. I hate paying rent, y'all. I hate paying rent. I hate paying rent, utilities, internet, phone bill, right? All the adult shit. All the adult stuff. I hate, it's not that I hate bills. I hate bills that I feel like we shouldn't have to pay. Like, I really hate paying for electricity. I really don't like it. And I hate paying for internet and a phone. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I really hate rent. I really hate rent. So because I can work remotely, I have the freedom to move around. And I made the decision. I'm a big travel person. I love to travel. I get stressed out if I can't move around. Like for real. Like who likes paying rent? It's so ghetto. Like ugh, makes you want to leave Earth. Um, but because my lease is almost up, Stephanie Perry. Lord, let me put it in the chat before I forget it again. Stephanie Perry. She's amazing. If you're ever interested in taking a sabbatical, as in time away from work, traveling, moving abroad, house sitting. She has a program called House Sitting School. You don't need house sitting school. You can learn it for free on her channel. Or I'll explain it to you. But Stephanie Perry, she's just a wonderful, wonderful person, and her channel is absolutely wonderful. So back to the rent thing. So my lease is up in July, and I don't have any obligations. My job is remote. I don't have any obligations. So I'm not renewing my lease. I'm not renewing my lease, and my plan is to I have a place to stay, right? People could do this out of their car or van, but you don't need to. Or you can just house sit back to back, and you'll always have a place to stay. But you don't even have to do that. Technically, you can house sit as a form of vacation. Like right now, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna house sit for my birthday or if I'm just going to pay for a hotel because I don't want the responsibility of the pets. But I'm turning 30. I don't think I want the responsibility. But people go to Italy for vacation or go to wherever in the world, Greece or wherever, and they house sit as a way to get to that destination. When I went to Disney recently, I would have never been, not never. Like I would have had to get out of debt first, but it would have been a long time before I would have ever been able to afford to get to Disney because flying into town, staying at a hotel or resort, and then paying for the tickets for Disney, it's expensive enough for one person. It's damn near impossible for two people. And with families of three or more, I don't even know how they do it. Like I'm talking about these are $3, $4, $5, $6,000 trips that people are taking to go to Disney. I just spent $200 on my ticket and I had free accommodation while I was here. So a part of it is travel and a part of it is lowering my expenses. After July, I will no longer have rent. I will no longer have utilities. I will no longer have to pay for internet. I will no longer have to pay a pet fee. I will no longer have to pay renter's insurance. It's a lot to ask. I'm not asking, but it is a big deal to give up having your own space, especially when you're grown. But like I said, if you could free up $1,500, $2,000 out of your budget, there would be no question that you go for Zepbound or something else that you would like to afford. I'm freeing up so me and my boyfriend live in a 1-bedroom right now, but I need, like, if I'm going to stay home, I need an office space, right? And we're just not ready to buy a house. And he's like potentially going to be moving back home to take care of his mom anyway. Still figuring that out. So I was planning for an apartment by myself, and I wanted a 2-bedroom, and 2 bedrooms in Raleigh are like $2,000 a month. And I just can't, I mean, I could swing it, but I ain't gonna have Zepbound. Like if I can either pay $2,000 for rent or I can have Zepbound, or I can spend $1,500 on rent and get a 1-bedroom and use the living room as my office, which is terrible because I have a dog. So it got to the point where I was just like, well, how about no rent? Okay, hear me out. Look at that. Pet sitting it now in Atlanta, not far from my daughter's house. Annette, out of the clouds. You just fell out of the clouds. Wonderful. Thank you for leaving a comment. I'm in Orlando right now. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I plan to be in Atlanta this fall. Outstanding. Tell me more. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it. So I decided to make my dad's house my home base. Here's the thing, right? Can I just be real with y'all real quick? And let me say this. I saw a comment. Can I get into stocks? You're very responsible with your money. I'm learning to be responsible. I'm learning to be financially literate. I ain't got it yet. And I don't invest. I know nothing about investing, okay? So if I ever learn, you guys will be the first to know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the information yet. I could talk budgeting, right? I could talk don't spend too much here and spend a little more here, and this is how you set a little bit aside to yourself, and this is how much you should be saving. I could talk that, but I don't know anything about investing yet, but I would love to learn. So let me House sitting as an alternative for housing stability. Okay, right? So this is like a step above van life. No, this is several steps above van life if you like pets. If you don't like pets, this is not a house. I mean, this is not a house sit for you. This is not the thing. Like I don't think you're going to like this if you don't like animals. I've dealt with dogs, I've dealt with cats. I haven't dealt with fish yet, but I would. Reptiles are a maybe for me. But I have been up and down the East Coast so far. I'm going to be in Chicago in June, California in September, Kentucky in September. Oh, this is what I was going to get into. Okay, I was talking about my dad's house. Here's the thing, right? I'm not a finance channel. I'm just giving my opinion, right? I feel like the way that the economy is going, people should start to embrace some sort of like multi-generational type housing, roommate style housing, golden girl style housing. I think for the next like 3 to 5 years, people are going to have to come to grips with the idea of living with other people. If you just got it like that and you can afford to live by, like, it's very hard to live by yourself right now. It's very expensive. But so if you got it like that, I'm not talking to you. But if you ever, or if you find yourself in a position, where like it's becoming really, really hard to meet your expenses, one, I always recommend getting a new skill set and like upping your value in the marketplace so you can make more money. I'm always an advocate for making more money, either working a second job or upping your skill set so you can make more money. However, again, I told you my overall goal is to not push people in the direction of doing things that make life harder, and taking more hours out of your day for a second job just makes life harder. So if your back isn't against the wall, or unless you can find a second job that you really, really like, so it's worth the extra time, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it. But I really think people should get comfortable with living with each other. And so back to being like my dad, I didn't grow up with my dad. Like I didn't grow up living with him. He was on the road all the time. I lived in New York. He his home was in South Carolina. Now that I'm an adult, I've always lived by myself. Or I had a roommate when I first started having an apartment. When I started living on my own, I had a roommate. Then I went to living by myself. And then, I've lived with my boyfriend or whatever. But let me tell y'all something. I'm about to go live with my daddy. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm about to go live with my dad. He lives in a multi-generational home, so it was his mom's home, and now him and his sister live there. So us, the kids, when I talk about my cousin, that's my cousin's mom. So we don't live there. My cousin is in the Netherlands, and I'm still here. But my dad and his sister live in the same home, and I'm about to go live with my daddy and my aunt because why? I'm not paying $2,000 in rent. I'm not doing it. Unless I can find a way to double my income. Like if I can double my income somehow, some way in the universe, I would love to have my own space. But it's a tight squeeze right now. I am considering the idea of simply just moving to another city. The problem is my job is attached to Raleigh, Durham. Technically, even though we're remote, my company is attached to Raleigh, Durham. So I don't want to resettle. I don't want to get settled in another city and they recall us to the office, which is why I would rather just find a way to make money online, like either through YouTube, and preferably I can just transition into health coaching. I would love to be able to health coach so that I can do that online. And that way I don't have restrictions on where I can live. But back to house sitting. I don't want to be at my dad's house every day. He get on my nerves. Love him to death though. Like I don't want to be there every day. I don't want to be there every day. And I because I'm trying to get out of debt, I can't spend all my money traveling. But I'm about to free up about $2,000. I'm about to free up about $2,000. And it's the idea is to just save it, right? For a rainy day. Because I don't have an emergency fund. I would like to have one. The idea is to just save it for a rainy day. So I say that to say, even if you would love to keep your own home, you can still house sit, right? You can do it for vacation. That's one way to save money. I would have never been able to afford to pay to go to Disney. Not never, but it would have taken me like 3 to 5 years to go. So you can do it as a form of travel, right? If you can just pay for your flight or your gas to get to where you're going, boom, you have free accommodation where you are. Now I know people are funny about staying in other people's homes. I really don't know why. Like, are y'all not into Airbnbs? Like, who doesn't like an Airbnb? Some people don't. Some people don't. Some people don't. I live with my son in Melbourne, Florida, about an hour from Orlando. It is the thing to do now for sure. This is what I'm saying. Is your son an adult? Is he an adult? I think people should get comfortable with the idea of just, and you know what? A part of it is just me not wanting these people to have all of our money. Like, I feel like they don't need to have my $2,000 a month. I'm going to live with my father. I don't care that I'm 29. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't have any children. And if I did, they might be there too. Okay? You know, like, okay, maybe when I get married someday, we'll have our own home and stuff like that. But as of right now, and like I said, like my boyfriend there's a good chance he's going to go home and take care of his mom. Like, so that can be like a second home base for me too. So between my dad and then wherever my boyfriend, like if he decides to stay in Raleigh or if he decides to go home and take care of his mom. Because if he decides to stay in Raleigh, I'm going to be traveling anyway. Like, you can't unhouse sit me. You can't unhouse sit me. Like, this is a thing. This is a thing. I can't tell y'all when I will ever pay rent again. Ever. I can't tell y'all when I will ever pay a utility ever again in my life. Ever. Because if I can help it, the answer is never. I'll never pay another utility again. Never. I'll never pay rent again. Now, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I am very into aesthetic. I like the way stuff looks. So when I talked about the type, like me wanting an apartment, the $2,000 was like for a really nice apartment. I like really nice modern apartments, but they're so overpriced. They're so overpriced. And when I come to some of these homes, I keep ending up in, it's not for no reason, but I was about to say, I keep ending up in new builds, but it's because I like a certain aesthetic. Like when I'm looking for which house I want to do, I'm not gonna lie, I really be looking like, okay, how nice is your kitchen? Like, ooh, that kitchen looks really, really nice. Ooh, like, ooh, you got a pool? Because I want to enjoy my time here. So if you have like a really nice modern kitchen, plus if your home looks really, really clean and the bedroom is nice and spacious and you have the bed all nice and made and you got a pool, you don't have to have a pool, but preferably you got a pool. So with me just looking at pictures, I keep ending up in new builds. Like, I like that new build cookie cutter aesthetic. I don't know why. I like the cookie cutter. I like the cookie cutter aesthetic. Like the neighborhoods where they build up 200 houses and all the houses look alike. But when you walk in, it's just like beautifully, everything's white or light gray. And the cabinets just look like they came from IKEA or Home Depot. And like, I love that aesthetic. I really do. Like, I just love when everything is so crisp and it's just, I love it. So I said that to say it gives me the I want a house bug, but I don't want house problems. That's the problem. Like, I don't want mortgage, property taxes, insurance. I don't want house problems. Having to be in one location. Like, once you're locked in, you're locked in. Eh. So I'd rather just go stay at other people's houses. Why do I have to pay rent? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Love Airbnb. So let me tell y'all something. This is how serious. So I used to describe this when I first started. I was like, oh, it's like an Airbnb for free. But then I was like, let me not talk about people's homes that way because I'm not paying to stay here. I went to one house, the first house I went to in Orlando. She kept apologizing to me for like little stuff. Like her garage was a mess. Not a mess, but it was like storage and whatever. It was like cluttered. I don't give a shit. But I was like, this is your home. You don't have to apologize to me. It's not an Airbnb. I didn't pay to stay here. The home was beautiful. The home was clean. Everything was nice. But she was like, I'm sorry. This is my junky garage. And I'm like, you don't have to apologize to me for that. So it made me reel back the whole like, oh, I'm just staying in the Airbnb for free because I'm not paying to stay in these people's homes. And then like there are the houses of people that have housekeepers. And then there are the houses of people that don't have housekeepers and they feel a bit more lived in, right? Like when you have a housekeeper, everything feels new all the time. When you don't have a housekeeper, and when someone doesn't have a housekeeper and you go to their home, you're at the mercy of the level of cleaning that they do. But I've never been to like a dirty home or anything. You can just tell the difference between like, oh, you have a housekeeper versus, oh, you and your husband just try to clean this big ass house by yourself. And it's impossible because you have 2 dogs that drool everywhere and they shed every 5 seconds. Like there's going to be dog fur on the floor. Like it's going to happen. So there's, and then you can see the ones like in the pictures when it's incredibly cluttered. I just don't pick those because I just, people typically don't lie in their pictures when they're posting on the website for a house sitter because they're not selling it to you. You're not paying them. So they don't go out of their way to make the pictures look misleading. They just want you to come into their home and take care of their pets. So if it looks really clean in the pictures, I can guarantee it's really clean when you get there. If it looks moderately clean, I can guarantee you it's moderately clean. If it looks incredibly cluttered, I can guarantee you it's incredibly cluttered like that. But I said that to say, so my very first house sit just invited me back in North Carolina. And I asked if my boyfriend could come with me. And she was like, oh, yeah, like no problem. Of course he can. We trust you. You did a great job. Can't wait to meet him. And I was like, well, I haven't pitched it to him yet, so we'll see. And she was like, think about it. It's like your own personal VRBO. You got a pool, you got a hot tub. It'll be great. And I'm like, see, it's cool when you say that, but I be trying not to say that about people's houses. Like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just looking for a place to stay. Because I'm really not. Like, I have a place to stay. I can go stay at my dad's house. So I'm not looking for a place to stay. I just happen to really like nice houses. And because I don't have my own, I'm going to come stay at your nice house. And I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to make sure it's very clean when I leave. Your pets are going to be happy and taken care of. And that's just what it is. I have a daughter that lives in Texas. She has 4 adult kids at home. My grandkids, I told them to stay home. Don't go out and throw money away on other people in property for renting. I think that's a wonderful thing. I was about to say something that was going to be very racially specific about Black people, but I don't want to do that. I just feel like I will say, let's get more comfortable with living together. Not freeloading, but let's for the next few years get more comfortable with living together and working together. Wonderful. Okay. So you live with, I think that's wonderful that you live with your son. Awesome. Have to get ready to go to a casino. See you soon. Thank you for coming up. My best pet sit was in Vegas. You're welcome. Okay, so I got a little too far into the house sitting thing, but I am going to talk about it. But I said that to say, if anybody, whether you just want to travel and free up your travel expenses, or you are the type of person that can literally just get up and go, like you're not attached by work or by any other means to your physical location, I would definitely recommend just trying it out. You can keep your home and house sit if you want to. Like I've house sat in my own city. I've house sat like 20 minutes away from my house because they had a nice ass house. Their house was nice. It was so nice. Like, and I'm about to do it again. I live in Raleigh. I'll be house sitting in Durham about 20 minutes away next month. They got a nice house. It's nice. So I think that when we get into it, we might even look at some of Stephanie's content because she's amazing. And if you haven't already, go ahead and check out her channel. Oh, please subscribe. Okay. I see that about 80% of y'all aren't subscribed. Y'all would do that to this face. Y'all would do that to me. Of all people, like, let's be for real. Like, seriously, y'all would do that to me. Somebody left a comment earlier that was like, I'm doing what I should have done months ago. I'm subscribing. And I was just like, it took you months. Thank you for subscribing though. So I can see about 80% of the people that are returning. You just haven't subscribed. What y'all waiting for? Like, what's the problem? All right. Oh, shit. Okay, I gotta run. I didn't realize it was so late. But thank you. Thank y'all. I should be out of Zepbound jail pretty soon. Okay. I will give you an update on that. All right. I'm working on it. Like, Alexis, will you be my lawyer, my attorney, my representative? But thank you to Alexis and Eye of Wisdom for coming up. You guys are beautiful. I love y'all. It was amazing. Thank y'all for talking with me. And thank you for everybody that commented. And for those that specifically came out of the clouds, I think for the first time, like Annette, and it was a couple of other people that were new names to me. Binta and Jazzy. I don't think I had seen y'all comment before. So thank you guys. Thank you for everybody that has watched this live and the last one. And I will see you all in the next one, which is probably going to be a pre-record. I don't know, but we'll see. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. I be making promises. Don't believe me. Thank you, Jazzy. Good night. All right. I'll see you guys. Bye.